I can click. Honestly, I might as well go for a double protect. They probably fake me out here. And I'll just click Sacred Fire. I get the double protect. I'll just click Sacred Fire into Zacian. Oh, they didn't know. They clicked fake out into Entei, but Inner Focus prevents the flinch. We just one-shot Zacian with the Sacred Fire. Now they're down to Incineroar and Miraidon. VGC Legends time once again. This is the series where I spin a wheel. I get a random legendary Pokemon. I speed build a team around that legendary, and I try the team out on the Pokemon Showdown VGC ladder. The two reasons for which I do this are, one, I just like legendary Pokemon and want to give them all their due, and two, speed building a bunch of teams, some good, some bad, some in between, some just kind of weird. It's a fun little adventure that maybe teaches me some things along the way. Not much else to say at this point. Let's just spin the wheel and see what we get. Oh, we're going back to Gen 2, finally, making up for lost time, huh? As this time, it's Entei. And, I mean, okay, that one seems pretty straightforward. We'll talk about that after the cut. So there are actually a handful of different ways to use Entei. I've seen Scarf Eruption stuff with base 90 special attack. I don't love it, but we did it with Groudon already. Could run it more generally on a sudden team, boost that Sacred Fire. What I think I want to do with Entei, because it's something I've always been kind of curious about in this format, is just put it on a Zacian Shadow Rider team. Sorry, Zamazenta Shadow Rider team. I don't know why I said Zacian. It's not the most interesting build ever, but it is something I'm sort of curious about. Put it in that Incineroar slot, basically, and you get another physical priority attacker. Terra Normal. Inner Focus, which of course means it's immune to Intimidate and it can't be flinched. Extreme Speed. Sacred Fire. And then the rest is negotiable. Probably want Protect. Could run like Stone Edge. Could run Snarl. Make it a little bit more Incineroar-like. Probably one of those, right? I could even do Assault Vest. Although then I don't know what item Rillaboom gets. But I could do that with Stone Edge and Snarl. I'm going to do something else with Stone Edge and Snarl. What's stopping me? Let's look at our usual resources. I don't know if Entei is going to show up in any recent tournaments. But I can take a look. If it is, it'll probably be a ways down. Oh, 3 Entei in Bologna. 2 Choice Band, 1 Life Orb. All Terra Normal Extreme Speed stuff. Flare Blitz, Stomping Tantrum, Protect, Stone Edge are the other move options. The highest placing one here. And it is on a Zamazenta Shadow Rider team. They have a Moongus and Raging Bolt in the other slots. That's interesting. Choice Band, Entei. Stomping Tantrum and Flare Blitz. I wonder why you run Flare Blitz over Sacred Fire. It has, what, 20 more base power? So there's probably just some KO that it hits. Anyway. Let's take a look at Utrecht as well. I'm not seeing... Oh, I am seeing Entei. There's 7 of them in the top 256. Of course, it's an earlier event, so it suggests that Entei's results have dropped a little bit. Fairly even split between Life Orb and Choice Band. Almost all of them have Stomping Tantrum. A couple with Stone Edge. Most have Protect. The highest placing one here in top 8, not bad. Life Orb, Protect, Sacred Fire, Stomping Tantrum, Extreme Speed. Okay, so I'm seeing a lot of favor for Stomping Tantrum here. I think I can drop Snarl. I don't think that's that valuable. I have Chien-Pao on the team already anyway. To cover for a lot of the big special attackers. Rillaboom to change the terrain on Miraidon. Calyrex to outspeed, unless it's a Scarf set, but then Entei can hit it with Extreme Speed. I'm thinking probably something like this. Or, you know what, maybe I do want a Choice Band, actually. Just hit as hard as I can with that Extreme Speed. Right? I don't know what Flare Blitz is for, so I'm not going to worry about it. I'm just going to go for more coverage. I'm probably clicking either Extreme Speed or Sacred Fire most of the time anyway. I'll take a look at Munch stats, but I think we get the basic picture for Entei already here. Most common restricted partner is actually Miraidon. And Shadow Rider Calyrex doesn't even show up. You can see almost all of them run Extreme Speed, large majority run Sacred Fire. Actually, most of them run Flare Blitz. Stomping Tantrum's pretty far down, considering that most of the ones that did well in tournaments in Europe had it. Choice Band is the majority item. The people using Pressure are probably just a mistake. Sorry, that came out worded a little bit weird. People are probably only using Pressure by mistake because it's the default ability. Yeah, okay. I'm just going to build out a Shadow Rider Zamazenta team. I have become interested lately in... Usually I've been doing Life Orb Shadow Rider and Sash Qianpao on these teams lately. I'm a little bit interested in doing a swap. I feel like Shadow Rider just benefits so much from the Focus Sash. As much as I want it on Qianpao, and I really do, I think this might be the way to go. So we'll give that a try as well. But I'm just going to build a very typical Zamazenta Shadow Rider team that I often would. Not the most exciting thing here, but I've been wanting to try Entei on that kind of team anyway, so this is my chance to do it. Yeah, I don't know. The thing is, a team like this really benefits from Qianpao sitting on the field for a while, so the more I think about it, the more I think maybe I should keep the Focus Sash there, but I guess this is a worthwhile experiment. I mean, Calyrex can do so much damage with that extra chance to stick around a little bit longer. It's just that Qianpao sitting on the field for a long while enables everybody else on the team except Calyrex. So I don't know that that part of this is going to hold up very well, but we'll see. And really, I just want to click Extreme Speed and Sacred Fire with Choice Band Entei and see how that holds up. So let's go. Kyogre, Miraidon. One sec. There we go. Kyogre, Miraidon, Tornadus, Cornerstone, Mask, Ogerpon, Smeargle, and Urshifu. So Qianpao right away is very strong into this. I can taunt Smeargle. I can break Sturdy on Ogerpon. I have an offensive threat into Miraidon or Tornadus. Oh, but I don't have the Focus Sash. So actually I can't play that recklessly with Qianpao anymore. But I can still Sucker Punch a Miraidon or Kyogre. And Miraidon, that just gives me some damage. Kyogre, I weaken that Water Spout. Although they might not be that bothered about the Water Spout this game anyway, because I have Rillaboom, Urshifu, Zamazenta. But still, I feel like whenever I play these kinds of teams, I kind of just end up wanting to lead Qianpao, Zamazenta in every game, and that is reasonable here. I would want Rillaboom, I think, to change the terrain and also threaten Kyogre. And then do I leave the Calyrex behind and just bring Entei because I want to use Entei? I actually think that's reasonable. They have a few ways to make Calyrex's life a lot harder. Let's just try that. I could also bring Urshifu to this one because it's powered up by their own Kyogre and the Surging Strikes rips through a lot of their team. Actually, Urshifu is kind of nice because it can threaten a KO into Smeargle turn 1. But I'm just going to do what I said. But leading Urshifu could be interesting. It's just, what are you doing to Miraidon? Maybe Tornadus stuff then. Also, the Ogerpon, if they really want, can redirect attacks away from any teammate. We'll see what they go with here. Tornadus, Kyogre, okay. So probably it's in my best interest here to just Sucker Punch the Kyogre, weaken a possible Water Spout. Right, because if I go for the Icicle Crash KO into Tornadus, they can Tailwind Water Spout first. I mean, I can Wide Guard and Crash Tornadus then. The risk of that is something like a Hydro Pump. But only if they have it, and only if they hit. So that's actually what I'm going to do. Wide Guard and Icicle Crash into Tornadus. They actually just protect Kyogre this turn. And set their Tailwind. And I KO Tornadus. So once this Tailwind is gone, they never get it back. Now, since I clicked Wide Guard that turn with Zamazenta, I can't safely click Protect next turn. Because Wide Guard, even though you can use it consecutively without it ever failing, it does affect the Protect counter if you switch to clicking Protect, which is tricky when Miraidon comes in here and I have Terra Water on Zamazenta. I can probably take a hit though, right? I'm just going to Body Press and Sucker Punch the Kyogre slot. They probably want to take advantage of that Tailwind while they can. Yeah, Sucker Punch does big damage. They Electro Drift into Zamazenta, it does just KO. And they Thunder Qianpao, which also KOs. Alright, don't love that for me, but... Well, I mean, they get terrain control now because I've only KO'd one of their Pokemon, but I do get Rillaboom in for now. Unfortunately, I don't get Entei next to Qianpao this game. I'm going to fake out Miraidon, Paranormal, Extreme Speed, Kyogre. They might want to make a switch. I could see Miraidon switching out to get its terrain back. There's not really anything I can do about that at this point, because I did let them just KO Zamazenta last turn. Oh, if I just wood hammered this slot, but I didn't. I can't safely Grassy Glide now because they can switch Miraidon in and turn off the priority. Maybe I should do it anyway. If I think Kyogre is switching, then let's Grassy Glide and Extreme Speed the Urshifu slot. That way if I'm wrong, I hit with priority. It does mean that Kyogre gets a free chance to attack, but I think most likely they want to bring Miraidon in there. I was wrong, they Terra Grass the Kyogre. But I do get my priority Grassy Glide into Urshifu, so I knock that out. What does Kyogre do? Thunder into Entei. Kyogre must be choice locked. Thunder does half to Entei, but after Grassy Terrain Recovery, I'm back over half. Obviously, I can't click Sacred Fire because I'm choice locked. Oh, I know Kyogre isn't choice locked. It clicks Protect earlier. I don't know why it did that then. I don't have priority anymore. I can do a U-turn into Kyogre and Extreme Speed. If the Extreme Speed KOs Kyogre, which it does, good damage. Entei no longer resists that Dazzling Gleam, oh well, but U-turn is my strongest attack into Miraidon anyway, and that means I lose, because it's just going to do damage to Rillaboom too quickly. But Entei did look pretty good in that game. Got some big Extreme Speed damage. It is still a loss, though. We'll move on to the next one. Letting them just KO Zamazenta like that. I guess I was iffy about giving up the Dauntless Shield boost versus just taking damage on Kyogre, but I didn't take the damage anyway because they knocked it out with Miraidon. Well, I didn't think that would one-shot. But also, yeah, I should have switched it out to Rillaboom there. Taking away their terrain. Made the terrain war a little more interesting. Anyway, Miraidon, Zamazenta, Volcarona, Iron Hands, Chien-Pao, Wellspring Mask, Ogerpon. Volcarona is a problem, as it always is for this kind of team, but if I lead Entei here, I don't have to worry about Fake Out from Iron Hands into that. I can Extreme Speed Miraidon. Otherwise, Sacred Fire is actually massively threatening into their team. How about I try leading Entei Chien-Pao? That seems nice. Rillaboom. That means I only have room for one restricted again. Maybe I don't need Rillaboom in this one. Do I bring my restricteds? Or do I fit Rillaboom in there? I'll just bring my restricteds and see what happens. Okay, they lead Miraidon and Volcarona. Volcarona, of course, can... Oh, Volcarona can Rage Powder. Oh, and I didn't bring Rillaboom, so Entei doesn't take a hit from Miraidon, most likely. Probably want to just Extreme Speed the Volk. But then I probably don't want to Terrasilize because I'm at risk from Flame Body. I don't get to click Sacred Fire in this one after all. I'm going to protect Chien-Pao for now. I can't safely Sucker Punch Volcarona because there's a good chance it's not going for an attack this turn. And if it goes for Rage Powder, I can't really attack Miraidon then either. I might just sack Entei for some chip on Volcarona here, unfortunately. They're Electric Miraidon. Extreme Speed does less than half to Volk. They went for the Volt Switch into... Oh. They went for a Volt Switch into Chien-Pao, and then they went for Quiver Dance. I can actually... If I Terra Normal here, I KO Volk. I'm just going to do it. And Sucker Punch Miraidon. Because it doesn't look like this is a Rage Powder support set. Although it could still have Rage Powder, it's not impossible. But Extreme Speed goes first, KO's Volk. Entei does get burned by the Flame Body, that's why I didn't want to Terrasilize, but I decided the damage was worth it here. Chien-Pao will be taken out by a Volt Switch, but after doing 50% to Miraidon, is it Scarf Miraidon? Because that's a real problem if it is. Really unfortunate that Entei got burned there, but obviously I knew that was a risk I was taking. Zamazenta, and I find out the other one after I make this decision, huh? Go Calyrex. It's Chien-Pao. I get extreme speed Chien-Pao. I wouldn't mind switching Entei out. And hopefully getting a chance to click Sacred Fire into their Zamazenta. I think the best thing Entei could do right now is burn Zamazenta. I'm just not sure I can get a position where that makes sense. I think I'd rather... Also, I'd be switching a fighting weakness out to a fighting weakness. I think I'd rather just extreme speed the POW. It would be nice to click Sacred Fire here, but I don't think I can maneuver it. Or not click Sacred Fire here, but get to a position where I can click Sacred Fire. There's so many steps. I don't think it works. Burned extreme speed does less than half to POW. That's not what I like to see. I also can't Psychic POW, obviously. I'm going to go out to Zamazenta. I think Calyrex is my win con. I guess that means I'm hoping it's not Scarf Miraidon, but I think there's a good chance it is. But I don't want to let Calyrex just go down. I know it is the Focus Sash, but even so. If they're clicking Wide Guard, I can't Astral Barrage through the POW. And obviously it's immune to Psychic. Okay, I crit it with the extreme speed. I could have just Psychic to their Zamazenta there, I guess. But they went for Heavy Slam. They did like nothing to my Zamazenta. Miraidon's back. I'm just going to extreme speed and body press it. Hopefully it doesn't one-shot my Zamazenta like last game. But if it does, not much I think I can do about that. I mean, I guess that means they're not attacking Entei, but they do body press Entei. I mean, I figured they would sooner or later. Okay, I don't think it is Scarf Miraidon because their Zamazenta went first, but my Zamazenta does survive this time. I have both of my restricteds against their Calyrex. I think that's probably just too much damage for them to overcome, especially since I still have the Sash intact on Calyrex. Did I say their Calyrex when I meant their Zamazenta? I don't know what I said. I'm just going to attack. Is their Zamazenta faster than mine? It is. But even so, to attack mine, it has to take a Psychic without doing anything back to Calyrex, and then I still have the Sash intact, so I think this is okay. Yeah, the Psychic is a 3-hit KO. They knock out my Zamazenta. I could have protected there, but I don't really think it was necessary. They'll knock me down to my Sash now, or not, they don't do that, but they do break the Sash. But I just have too much damage. They're one turn too slow. Okay. Well, the Focus Sash didn't really come in handy there, but Calyrex sure did. Entei didn't do it. I was going to say Entei didn't do a ton in that game. That's not true. Entei took out the Volcarona, and it took out the Chien-Pao thanks to a crit. I don't think the damage into their Miraidon mattered, but still, Entei did some work, even with the unlucky burn. Miraidon, Incineroar, Fluttermane, Whimsicott, Smeargle, and Zacian. Okay. Scary, fast, restricted duo. Shadow Rider Calyrex, of course, is faster than both of them, unless it's Scarf Miraidon, but they have Tailwind, and I don't. So there's that, too. I'd like to take out the Whimsicott if I can. I think the old, reliable Chien-Pao Zamazenta lead is pretty reasonable here. I think Entei is actually pretty reasonable here. It checks Zacian very well. Fluttermane kind of reasonably well because it resists Fairy, and Fluttermane doesn't want to take the Sacred Fire back. Once again, it means something has to give. Basically, I have to leave behind either Rillaboom or Calyrex. And I think my choice is, again, Rillaboom, so I won't be able to change the terrain, but I want to get Entei into lots of games here, right? They lead Miraidon, Whimsicott. I can Sucker Punch Miraidon. Yeah, I could Terra Fairy. I could double up with Heavy Slam, but I think I'd rather take out the Whimsicott. Whimsicott is such a pain if you let it sit on the field. Maybe I'm better off clicking Protect with Chien-Pao, but it could be Sash Whimsicott. This is best of one, after all. Oh, but they can't Encore Chien-Pao anyway because it's a Dark type. So, yeah, I'm good with that. They're Electric again. Okay. Tailwind, they Volt Switch POW. That goes into the Protect. I get rid of the Whimsicott. There's no Encore threat now, and you know, once this Tailwind is gone, that's it. I'm gonna protect. Yeah, I'm gonna protect Zamazenta here. Since I just protected POW, I won't do that. Instead, I'll Sucker Punch Miraidon this time. One other reason I didn't click Sucker Punch last turn was that if it was Terra Fairy Miraidon, that wouldn't do so much damage. But now, that Miraidon doesn't want to take an extreme speed. They get Incineroar, so they get intimidated into Zamazenta, and they get Fake Out Pressure. But I can go Entei here. They can't Fake Out that. I can click... Honestly, I might as well go for a Double Protect. They probably fake me out here. And I'll just click Sacred Fire. I get the Double Protect. I'll just click Sacred Fire into Zacian. Oh, they didn't know. They click Fake Out into Entei, but Inner Focus prevents the flinch. We just one-shot Zacian with the Sacred Fire. Now they're down to Incineroar and Miraidon. I don't think I need Calyrex at this point. I think... well, does this Miraidon one-shot my Zamazenta? We'll find out, but I'm just going to go Body Press into Incineroar, switch out to Calyrex, and that way I can switch to Extreme Speed into Miraidon. I guess there is a way this can go wrong, but that's what I'm going to go for here. Electro Drift goes into Calyrex. That's absolutely fine. Ideal, even. Flare Blitz into Zamazenta. Please don't burn. It doesn't burn. We take out Incineroar. And if this is not Scarf Miraidon, then it actually just loses to Calyrex here, and I don't even get... Yeah, I don't even get Entei back in. But I had the Extreme Speed threat in the back if I really needed it. Good stuff. Okay, mic's working. Good. Oh, a Ludicolo. Nice. Ludicolo, Whimsicott, Kyogre, Urshifu, Iron Treads, and Ice Rider Calyrex. Very interesting team. Obviously, the Ludicolo is here to be a menace with Swift Swim, probably. It also gets Fake Out. This could be a tough one for Entei, although actually the Bandit Extreme Speed is pretty strong into most of this team. I could bring Rillaboom for sure. It has to watch out for the Ice Ride. Oh, I could bring Urshifu. That has to watch out for Ludicolo, but it takes advantage of the opponent's own rain otherwise. Maybe I leave Entei behind for this one. I don't know. Entei's been good this video. But I think I want Rillaboom. I think I want Urshifu. I could just leave my Restricteds, or I could do Qian Power Shifu, Zamazenta Rillaboom in the back. I think that's good because I can taunt the Ice Rider as well, and possibly deny a Trick Room if they want to go for that. I'm not sure they would in this matchup, but it's possible. Okay, they lead Whimsicott or Shifu. They're not going for Trick Room. I'll just go for Icicle Crash into the Whims. Does that make sense? They can KO Chien-Pao, but what am I doing about that anyway? I'm switching to Rillaboom, that's what I'm doing. Try to get damage into their Ursh. They're a Dark Whimsicott, okay. Well, I can close combat that now, potentially. I guess if it Moonblasts me first, that's a problem. Let's see what they have for this Grassy Glide. I'm down to quick close combat into Whims. If Calyrex for the Grassy Glide, that makes sense. They might just take out Urshifu with a Moonblast here. Yeah, they do. I thought about clicking the Terra Water there, but I don't know if it's a great use of my Terra this game. I get Zamazenta now. Zamazenta is strong into both of these. I'm threatening Whimsicott with a Body Press. They still have Tailwind up, though. I honestly might want to switch Rillaboom out to Chien-Pao. It's awkward, but what's the alternative? Just drop to a Glacial Lance? They actually protect their Calyrex there. They Moonblast Chien-Pao, I don't love. But I do get the Whimsicott now. I'm pretty sure that crit didn't matter. Here's their Ursh. I'll try to Sucker Punch it, because what else am I doing at this point with Chien-Pao? Go for Body Press in that slot as well. They switch Kyogre in on their last turn of Tailwind. Oh, the Sucker Punch almost KOs Urshifu. Be nice if it did. As Zamazenta takes so much from that Surging Strikes and Rain. That's a really scary team that my opponent has. The good news is the restricted Pokemon didn't really manage to take advantage of the Tailwind. I am going to... What do I think the Calyrex goes for here? This is tricky. I'd like to Sucker Punch it, but if it goes for Protect or Trick Room, then the Sucker Punch does nothing. I could Taunt it to deny a Trick Room, but then I'm potentially throwing my Chien-Pao away for nothing. I could Sucker Punch Kyogre. Maybe it's actually better to switch... No. I'm just going to Sucker Punch. Oh, they protect Kyogre. Sucker Punch takes out Calyrex. Perfect. I was going to say switch to Rillaboom, but then if they go Glacial Lance, I just lose Rillaboom when I might need it to beat Kyogre in the end game. So, that was a little bit of a tricky mind game situation, but yeah, the Sucker Punch just paid off in the end. Good stuff. Miraidon, Ho-Oh, Iron Bundle, Iron Shreds, Iron Hands, and Farigiraf. Alright, the future is here. And they rejected open team sheets. They really think there's something they don't want me to know. This looks like a tough matchup. I don't know how to beat Ho-Oh. Well, Entei could be stronger to Ho-Oh with Extreme Speed, or Sacred Fire if it Terrasolizes, or Stone Edge. Probably want to bring Entei to this one. It's awkward to the rest of their team, but how do I beat Ho-Oh without it? I could do... I don't know. I could just leave my restricteds with Rillaboom and Entei in the back. I don't know if that makes sense, but I'm down to try it. They lead Ho-Oh and Iron Bundle. Okay. And it's not Booster Energy Bundle, but it will get a speed boost if they switch Miraidon in right now. I'm gonna click Nasty Plot here, but I am also I think gonna be willing to switch the Calyrex out if the situation kind of turns against me. Icy Wind. What does Ho-Oh do? Sacred Fire into Calyrex, but it misses. Knock Bundle down to a Sash. This is awkward for sure. Maybe I want to switch something out to Entei here. I don't love that I'm giving them chances to burn Zamazenta, but I think it's better to preserve the Calyrex here. With the Iron Bundle spamming Icy Wind, I can't really trust Calyrex would be fast enough to take advantage of the Nasty Plot boost. They focus down on that slot though, so I do take out the bundle, at least without getting Zamazenta burned or KO'd. Now it's Miraidon. I'm gonna go Rillaboom. And I am just gonna lock into Stone Edge into Ho-Oh. I hope this connects. I hope I get the chance to actually execute the move. And it connects. Nope, Volt Switch takes out Entei. Guess I should have Extreme Speeded. There's the Shreds. There's Sacred Fire and a Rillaboom. Yeah, okay. Very scary. Getting a little bit cooked here. Well, like I said, I think it was pretty clear at preview that this was a tough matchup. I think Ho-Oh is hard to deal with for a team like this. Maybe I need Urshifu to threaten it. But, you know, at that point I want to bring every Pokemon on my team to the game, and you can't do that in this format. Buy a turn by faking out the Ho-Oh, but yeah, after that I think I just lose to it. I should have gone for damage into Ho-Oh there instead of Iron Shreds. Rillaboom could knock out Iron Shreds next turn. But I think this one's kind of doomed anyway. But you have to play to your outs, right? I had that game recently in my first Reg J video where if I just clicked Sucker Punch on the second last turn, I would have won. And from a position that looks doomed. So you shouldn't just start clicking buttons in an end game, right? That's a little bit sloppy of me. You should play to whatever outs you have. Incineroar, Koraidon, Terrapagos, Fluttermane, Chi-Yu, Grimmsnarl. Sun offense. And I don't know what kind of Terrapagos set this is, but it could be a bit of a mix-up for them. By the way, I've been hating Terra Water Zamazenta this video. Everybody's running Miraidon. I'm never in a position where I want to Terrasilize. Maybe I should go back to I don't know, dragon or something. I'm gonna lead these tried and true buddies here. I can threaten Grimmsnarl with Heavy Slam. I can threaten Sucker Punch into some stuff. It's not a great lead into Koraidon, but what do I have that is? Agreed to open team sheets? Okay. Sash, Chiyu, and Specs Fluttermane. Interesting. It is Calm Mind Terapagos. That's the other thing. I want to be able to threaten Terapagos. I think I just bring Calyrex and Urshifu to this one. Scarf Koraidon. Okay. Uh-oh. This might be the moment, though, for Terra Water Zamazenta. Scarf Koraidon is going to be a big threat otherwise. And I know it's not Sash Fluttermane. I can Heavy Slam it. Sash Pow would be nice here because it could take a hit from Koraidon and hit back with Icicle Crash. But that's not what I have. I'll go for the Icicle Crash anyway. They might want big damage into Zama. They just take out Pow with a Dazzling Gleam. Didn't think that one through. Who's coming in? Very sporting of them to accept open team sheets right away like that. That Scarf Koraidon could have really caught me off guard. As it is, I'm still not doing great into it. Go Ursh here. But they bring Koraidon back. They're threatening massive damage into everything. And since it's Scarfed, it also will outspeed my Calyrex. Kind of need damage into it. As much as I want to hit the Incineroar, I actually think I need to hit the Koraidon here. They fake out Urshifu. I knew they were faking something out, but there's not much I could do about that. Just attacking with both means something gets its attack off. Now, Calyrex should be able to beat the Koraidon, though probably at the cost of its Sash. Although, Koraidon's now locked into close combat. So I think what I can do here is switch Zamazenta out to Calyrex and close combat into Incineroar. And that way Calyrex gets a free switch in here, and I preserve Zamazenta for whatever value that gets me. They go Chiyu. They haven't Terra'd yet, have they? But they don't Terra this turn either, so close combat does take out the Incineroar. They get their Koraidon back next to Chiyu. Chiyu is running a Focus Sash set. I think that's Terra Ghost. I was going to say, I think I can just close combat Chiyu and Astral Barrage. Actually, yes, that does still work because it becomes weak to the Astral Barrage if it terrestrializes. It's kind of pinned here. And since it's running Sash, it'll definitely be slower than my Calyrex. Astral Barrage takes out Koraidon, does some damage to Chiyu. Does this not work, actually? Chiyu clicks Snarl. I needed to preserve Ursh, actually, don't I? Because... did I just lose to Chiyu now? Maybe not. It has... okay, I'm going to protect both my Pokemon here. Get out of the last turn of Sun. They also protect. What I'm thinking is, now maybe Heat Wave or Snarl doesn't KO Zamazenta. Maybe they need something stronger. They forfeit anyway, so I guess they didn't see they didn't see a way through this. Right, I'm thinking take away the Sun boost from Heat Wave. Maybe they need to click... well, they don't have Dark Pulse. Overheat into Zamazenta to take it out, and then that buys Calyrex just enough time to get the KO. Otherwise, they focus down Calyrex and Zamazenta gets the KO. Did they use their Terra and I just forgot? I don't think so. So there was still a bit of a Terra Ghost mind game available, but yeah, I guess that position did favor me. I probably would have played it out if I were them, but I usually play things out. A lot of players are not as committed to that as I am. Alright. Oh. Oh. This opponent has their own Shadow Rider, Zamazenta, and Chien-Pao, along with Chiyu, Cornerstone Mask, Ogerpon, and Amoonguss. Scary matchup. I think I want to bring Entei to this. I think I want to do this. Entei can Sacred Fire maybe, and maybe Extreme Speed something, Sacred Fire something, maybe even Extreme Speed this if I pressure it into Terrestrializing. Possible. I am liking Bandit Entei. on this team. Is it the greatest tech available? Maybe not. I'm not even sure it's better than Galarian Moltres was. Although that's long enough ago now that I don't remember super clearly how well it did, but Entei is hitting things hard. What more can you ask? Well, hitting things hard with +2 priority, even better. Okay, they lead Chiyu-zama. That's really rough for me. Chiyu is just hard for me to deal with in general since I didn't bring Urshifu. Terra Water. Take Chiyu hits better, take Body Press better too. Focusing down the Chiyu here. It's a bigger up. Terra Ghost. Wait, but I Sucker Punched it. Perfect. Yeah. Alright, kind of pinned that one then. Chiyu is a bigger obstacle to winning with Calyrex than their Zamazenta is. The way this worked out, their Zamazenta also took a ton of damage this turn, so that's good. Now I can keep their Calyrex honest with Sucker Punch. Probably better to protect this turn, actually, because they might protect the Calyrex and try to take out Champao. So let's do that. Oh, no, I was wrong. They just Astral Barraged. I had a pretty free Sucker Punch there. But it still works out. I take out their Zamazenta. I'm very confident that crit didn't matter. First one probably didn't either. Oh, but now they get Ogre Pawn, so they can follow me. Oh. But I have Calyrex in the back with the Sash attack. I think I can just win with that. I'm actually going to Wide Guard here and Icicle Crash Ogre Pawn. If they're going for Astral Barrage, then at least I can shut that down this turn and deny them a boost. Encore Pow. Oh, okay. Oof. But I get my Calyrex now. I have the Sash. I'm running max speed, as always, so it's a speed tie at worst. Spiky Shield. My Astral Barrage goes first. Knocks them to their Sash. The Astral back. If it is a speed tie, then I think the game might just come down to that, which is how it goes sometimes when both sides have Shadow Rider Calyrex. I'm okay with it. How they protect. Oh, they're just going to take me out with Ogre Pawn now. I should have protected. My bad. Yeah. Yeah, but Encore ends here. I guess now I have to Sucker Punch their Calyrex and hope that they don't follow me. They do. The Encore Pow. The Encore Pow into Sucker Punch. Doesn't that just lose them the game on the spot? That was a bad idea, to be honest. I guess they thought I'd go for the Icicle Crash again. To try to take out the Ogre Pawn because I would anticipate the follow me, but because they got me with the Encore last time... Oops. I do want to say GG back. They probably left already. Because they got me with that last time, I didn't feel like I could go for it again. So I just went for the Sucker Punch anyway. Should have Astralt. Yeah. Yeah, that last Encore just lost them the game. I think I understand the thought process, but since they'd already done it before, that influenced my play. Oh well. Shadow Rider mirrors? I feel weird about the term mirror when the teams aren't exactly the same, but Shadow Rider versus Shadow Rider is a tough matchup, pretty much always. This is the first one of these that I'm making after Reg J was announced. Hopefully the Reg I ladder still has a decent amount of life to it. But it might be tricky in best of one, because Reg J is about to be the official best of one format. Anyway, did get an opponent reasonably quickly, despite that grumbling. It's a Miraidon Lunala team. Looks pretty standard, very scary. Lunala's hard to deal with. I'm going to go my tried and true pals here. I'm going to bring this. And then I probably should bring Rillaboom. I actually kind of like the idea of bringing Entei. I probably should bring Rillaboom. Rillaboom is much more threatening into these two, and it changes. Okay, I'll bring Rillaboom. Lunala, Miraidon. See, Rillaboom can switch in this position, so that's good. See if I can taunt this Lunala. They might just take out my Champao, though. Another Terra Electric Miraidon. Champao goes first. I'm not running max speed, so that's good to know. It still went before their Miraidon. Put down the Trick Room there. I'm gonna... I guess just hard switch to Zamazenta and protect. I want to get faked out trying to U-turn. Take out the POW. I had the U-turn available there after all. Now I can body press the Incineroar slot and Sucker Punch the Lunala slot. Lunala has to either attack or switch. I'd rather it attack, I think, but you know, it has to. I guess the alternative, I guess, is I could Icicle Crash that slot and cover or a Miraidon switch in. But I don't know. I don't know which is better there. They do let me Sucker Punch their Lunala. That's quite a bit through Shadow Shield. They let me Body Press their Incineroar and knock it out. I didn't have the Dauntless Shield boost, so that crit might have mattered. But anyway, they knock out Champao back. I get my... Oh, the taunt ends. That's awkward timing for the taunt to end, because if they have Wide Guard, that's back online now, just as I bring my Calyrex in. They bring in the Bear. This is awkward for them, because they want to set Trick Room. But my Calyrex being on the field makes that very hard, right? Because Lunala doesn't really take this Astral Barrage hit ever. Unless it Terrastalizes, I guess I could do that. They haven't Terrastalized yet, right? Oh, they could Terrastalize. Imagine if I Nasty Plotted there. That actually would have put me in a really strong position. But I felt like I had to keep the pressure up. Okay, the good news is I don't think they'll protect Ursaluna this turn. So what I can do, I could double into it with Psychic. I'm actually going to Astral Barrage in case it's Terra Ghost on the Ursaluna. That takes out Lunala. Does nothing to Ursaluna. Now I get the Body Press into Ursaluna, though, which should do a lot. They also never get Trick Room up this game. Alright. Is this one running? Is this one a Scarf Miraidon? I'm gonna give it a chance to just attack. I do want to get Rillaboom back in, but I don't think I need to run. Oh, they did Terra already. I forgot. I was covering for things they couldn't do. Well, it happens in this silly game. Let's see. Am I faster than Miraidon? Yep. Snarl. That takes out my Calyrex, but does not very much at all to Zamazenta. Ursaluna just used Protect. That means this turn I can pretty safely fake out Miraidon and Body Press Ursaluna. And then Zamazenta should be able to beat Miraidon from there. Miraidon's probably Choice Locked into Snarl now. Here, let's just Wide Guard and Woodhammer. I don't think they can beat that. Oh, they Draco Meteor into Rillaboom. They were not Choice Locked, but it doesn't do enough without the Hadron Engine. And so Rillaboom gets the KO. Of course, if they clicked Electro Drift into Rillaboom, that's resisted. If they click Dazzling Gleam, it's stopped by the Wide Guard. I guess Overheat, if they have that, could have won that. Or maybe not won the game, but gotten them through that turn. Here's another Shadow Rider Zamazenta team. This one has Murkrow, Urshifu, Landorus, and Iron Valiant. So very different apart from the restricted choice. Interesting team. I think I want to be able to Extreme Speed things. I think I want to be able to Sacred Fire the Zamazenta. You know what that means for who's coming to this game. I think Champao is probably good here. Able to Icicle Crash the Murkrow. Maybe it's not that good. They have 3 fighting types, which is a lot of fighting types. Icicle Crash the Landorus. I'm just going to try this. We'll see how it goes. They lead Valiant and Single Strike Urshifu. Scary stuff. I'm actually just going to Sucker Punch the Urshifu to cover for a Sash, and then Body Press it. They take out Chien-Pao with a Moonblast. That means there's a close combat coming into Zamazenta, right? Except no, because they're slower. Maybe it was Sash Ursh. Honestly, Entei is probably pretty threatening here. They get their Calyrex. Maybe I'd rather have my Calyrex on the field. They have Wide Guard, though, as long as they have the Valiant. Ooh, do we think it's Encore Calyrex? I'm gonna go Heavy Slam into Valiant, if they let me. And I'm just gonna click Sacred Fire into Calyrex. Okay, it protects. They have Taunt. So they're stopping my Wide Guard with that. But I take out the Valiant. Who's their last? Zamazenta, okay. I'd like to just click my attacks into that. They tear Dragon Zamazenta. They take out Entei. I don't get to burn their Zamazenta. I would really like to. I think I just lose, actually. I think my Restricteds don't have enough juice from here to take out their Restricteds. I mean, I can Terra Water. A little bit weirdly late for that, but I can do it. I think what I need to do here is break a possible Sash on their Calyrex. And then I'm actually going to protect my Calyrex this turn. And what I'm looking to do is revive this Astral Barrage. Good. Yeah, create an opening to win with my Astral Barrage. The problem, of course, is there's Zamazenta. I can Wide Guard, but they can just take me out with Psychic if they have it. Honestly, though, what else am I going to do here? Can I Psychic their Calyrex? I doubt it does enough. I doubt that Psychic does enough to their Zamazenta either. I'm just gonna go for it. They protect. Ah! And they take out my Zamazenta. Now they know I can never click Wide Guard for the rest of the game. I'm going to count on their Zamazenta trying to close this out safely with Wide Guard. That's why I'm clicking Terra Dark in front of a Fighting type. They win the Speed tie. Another Psychic will KO. Do I think they Wide Guard here? I'm going to say they don't. Ooh, they protect and they Body Press. Yeah, okay, well, once this came down to just the Restricteds, mine just didn't feel like they had enough left in the tank. But hey, Entei didn't do much in this game, but it put in some work throughout the video. We got our big Sacred Fires, we got our big Extreme Speeds. I never clicked Stomping Tantrum, and the only time I clicked Stone Edge, I got KO'd before I could execute the attack. I don't think Entei's amazing in this format or anything, but I can see why it has some tournament results. It definitely hits very hard with that Banded Extreme Speed, which is a nice little niche on a team with, you know, stuff like Chien-Pao, Zamazenta, other solid physical spam options. This has been a fun one, not the most creative team, but something I've been kind of vaguely wanting to try out, and it turned out pretty okay. And, as always, soon we'll spin the wheel again and see what Legendary is next.